What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about 3 different crypto gems that I think have immense potential in this cycle to make extraordinary gains and provide extraordinary returns. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Okay, Zora will be the first one that we talk about. KTA is the next one, Kita the cheetah, and then Cookie DAO will be the final one. I will leave timestamps. In the description. I've heard the requests for that, so I will do that. Shout out to Carrie Ann on that note. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are. It is the 8th day of December. 5 cents is the price. 7 hours, 48 minutes left in the day for Zora here. We're going to talk about Zora, KTA, then Cookie, right? We have a bit of a double bottom look here. And it is possible that Zora could break down. Anything's possible, but I don't think it will. I think that we will find support. I think that as we're dropping lower, we are losing volume. That makes me think that we're going to move higher, just as here, whenever we were pumping higher in prices, we were losing volume. That means we're going to turn around. Here, we're going lower. We're losing volume. We're probably going to turn around as well, but to the upside. Looking at this on the daily time frame with the indicators here, the RSI is reluctantly bearish. What I mean by reluctantly is, yes, you're bearish, but man, you don't like being in the oversold zone at all. Like here, you were willingly bullish. Here, you're reluctantly bearish. You're very barely getting into these oversold areas, and you're finding support at the 40 right now. I think that you do want to move higher from here. The RSI at the moment is bearish, as I've said, so keep in mind we can see lower prices in the meantime, but I think you've reset, and I think that you are setting up a base here of which you should probably continue moving higher from. The stochastics make me think that we do move higher. The stochastics do look bullish here. And the MACD has some bullish implications to it. And I think, let's see, we've done this before, maybe with a different crypto, but let's see if it applies here. I mean, you saw this before where you were moving sideways. You were red, whatever, you were below the zero, and then you started to build bullish momentum here for a long time, but you're just moving sideways. And then you ripped. Here, you were moving down, right? You're kind of moving sideways, moving down, whatever. You had some bullish momentum building before you actually saw the move happen, and then you ripped, right? A little bit of bullish divergence before the rip, but then the bullish momentum built 2 days beforehand, and then you actually saw that rip. Here, you had some bullish divergence. Nothing came from it. We're moving sideways, and we have bullish momentum building. We're below the zero. It just feels very similar. It's not the exact same, but it feels very similar to what we did back here before we had that initial pop. So I think soon enough we will see some upside. The MACD technically is bearish, but I think there are bullish implications here. Let me look at the 4-hour time frame real quick. Again, I think we're at a low area. Being here at 4.9 cents, that doesn't mean that we're at the low. We could go lower. Maybe we go lower from here, but we don't take out that low. We get a higher low, whatever. But soon enough, we should see a positive reaction. I think a truly spectacular reaction that inevitably, it won't just move up in a straight line, but inevitably it will take you to new all-time highs. I think you will find, turbulence along the way, higher lows, higher highs, whatever. But you are working your way up there from a high here to a low here. The expectation is that Zora's next move, when it does make a move higher, its next move should take you anywhere from about a 4.3 to a 6.6x, something like that. Basically 21 cents to 32 cents. Somewhere in that zone there. If I'm wrong, it's only because you've gone higher. It's only because you've gone higher. And it's completely possible that we do. From a low to a high here, this move overall, this was just your first move. You could genuinely see a move that is bigger than this move. That would take you all the way up to 75 cents. It's completely possible that from here, again, not in a straight line, there will be volatility along the way. But it's completely possible that from here we move up to 76 cents to $1.20. We'll know that this is the area that we're intending, that we're expecting, if we close a day or a week above 32.6 cents. Until then, that's kind of the barrier to breakthrough. This is your next area to consider. Once you break through that area, this is your next area to consider. Yeah? A lot of potential here. In other words, casually, we're expecting something between about a 6.6x and a 4.3x. But on the more bullish note of things, we could see anything from a 9x to a 24x from the current price. And certainly I do believe that these prices will be achieved. Maybe they're not our next stopping point. What if we stop here, we consolidate, whatever. that would be the stopping point afterwards. Then we consolidate again. We probably even push through there. You know what I mean? We probably see higher prices than that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Zora was worth multiple dollars here at some point in 2026. But those are for later dates. Anyways, that's Zora. Let's talk about KTA. KTA USD here. Kita the cheetah. Kita is chilling. But I think what we're seeing here is, first off, a massive downtrend. Absolutely massive. But second off, it's a decay in the momentum to the downside, right? Here, that was pretty fierce. Here, from that low to that low, it's dying off. You can see, right? These lines there, it's kind of tapering off. The slope is getting less extreme here. And now we're kind of rounding out this bottom. That doesn't mean we can't go lower, and we can go lower. Just understand that we could see lower prices even than this low here on the 1st of December. We could go back below 22 cents. But just like Zora, whether we go a little bit lower or not, this is not the move that I'm concerned with. It's this move. It's this move that takes you to new all-time highs. KTA, its all-time high right now is at $1.70. Here we are sitting at 24.5 cents. I thoroughly expect that KTA's next move will take it to multiple dollars in price. You've got a lot of potential here. A lot of potential here. And it's going to be fast, too. This thing, it doesn't show its all-time history. We actually had a lot of price action before this. Whenever you moved up here, you moved very, very fast. We're actually at points where you consolidated before. We're finding support at that now. I wonder, is there a way that I can find that? Let's do it here. I don't wonder. I know we can find it here. I hate using Dex Screener because for some reason it's slower. Bitcoin Hyper is a scam. It's a scam, just in case anybody needs to know. By the way, any ad on Dex Screener, it's a scam. It's 100% a scam. How do you know what a scam is? It's got an ad on Dex Screener. That's how you know, right? It's lucrative for them. They do this, and people just click on it, assuming, and they'll be like, screw it. I'll throw in $28, or I'll throw in $100, or maybe I'll throw in $1,000. Screw it. Maybe I'll just put in $10. You get 100 people that throw in $10. It's $1,000 right there. It's worth it for them to throw in the ads. And there's probably more than 100 people that click on this, and probably more than $10 per person being spent. It's a scam. Stay away from it. KTA, though, all-time history. We're going to go with this one. 9 months, 2 days. My favorite thing, well, I shouldn't say my favorite thing, but one of the more recent episodes of talking trash to my trolls that I had fun with was KTA. Somebody was like, was this you trying to tell people to buy at the high right here? Yeah, I bought there. I was saying it's a good buy. I will still, whenever we come back up here, say that was a good buy. But my response to that was posting the video, the very first video that I talked about KTA when we were all the way down here below 2 cents. So my response was, yeah, I talked about it there just like I talked about it down here too. Whatever, right? I don't care that I was wrong, just like I don't care that I was right. I care that I'm making money, right? If you care about being wrong or right, you're not doing it right, right? You can be wrong more times than you're right in crypto, in stocks, and make money. You can be right more times than you're wrong in crypto and stocks, and you can lose money. It's not about that. If it's about being wrong or right to you, you're doing it wrong. It's about risk management. You can be wrong 9 out of 10 times. Would you make more money if you were right 10 out of 10 times than you would if you were right 1 out of 10 times? Yes, you would make more money. But you can still lose money and be right more often than you're wrong. It's all about risk management, right? If you don't believe me, try leverage trading. Tell me how that goes. You'll probably do good for 3 or 4 trades in a row, and then one trade wipes it all out. That's my whole point. Anyways, KTA. It's one of my favorite insults that I got was that somebody tried to talk smack up here. He's really not a smart troll either, the guy that did it. He's done this stuff before, and he's definitely not smart, but he thinks he is. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, what about the video that I talked about down here? If you want to put up a scoreboard. Anyways, we're very bullish on KTA. We could be all the way up at the all-time highs. I would say we're going to go higher. I'd say this is a great time to buy because KTA's got a lot of potential. Here we are at 24.5 cents right now. The RSI has been very bearish for quite a while, but you're turning here. Your momentum is shifting, right? You went from a downward sloping trend into a sideways trend. Now you're just moving sideways, and typically that transition turns into an upward sloping trend. And I think we're setting up for that now. We've got the higher lows. We're just waiting for higher highs. And sure, KTA, again, you could go lower, but I don't think you'll go down that much. I think here it's a steal. It's a genuine steal. And you can see, again, the momentum shifting here in the price. Oh, that's right. We were just showing that you were finding the whole purpose of the Dex screener. I got lost in my own shenanigans there, but was to show that we're finding support at prior resistance. So again, if we go lower, we might find support at some of these areas. We could even go below this low, and we're still going to find support somewhere in these areas where we found resistance before, around 18 cents to 22 cents, if we go lower. But I doubt we do. Right? If you buy here and we go lower, that's the worst of it. And then the upside will take us above this high here, which from 24 cents to 62 cents, that's pretty immense gains right there, let alone past that. I do assume that from here, we look at this, maybe with the MACD on it, we've got some bullish divergence that's being built, right? Positive momentum here at the bottoms. Stochastics are reset. And wait, hold on now. Did you go below? This thing went below the zero. Is this stochastic? This is why I don't like Dex Screener. You can't go below the zero on your stochastics. That's just weird. Hold on. Yeah, you can't go below the zero. I don't know what Dex Screener is on, but that is not a stochastic RSI, or that's not a stochastic. Anyways, KTA reset on its oscillators, building bullish momentum. RSI looking like it's shifting momentum as well. I really do believe that when KTA breaks out, we're going to see it erupt all the way up to this 72, 75 cent area, 70 to 80 cent zone right here, right where you found resistance, right where you found support, right where you found support before, right where you found resistance before, and kind of a central point there in this area. I think that's where you're going to go. I wonder if we put a high to a low, if this is a significant fib or not, high to low, right in the golden ratio zone. It's literally, it's like beckoning. It's like come here. We're going to go right here. We're going to go right up here. And it's going to happen like that. It's going to be super fast when it happens. That's a 200%. That's a 3x move coded in here for KTA at this price. Maybe it goes lower, but if it goes lower, it's going to be an insignificant amount, and that only increases the amount of gains you have, so it's a better opportunity to buy. But I kind of, at this point, I really do doubt that we go lower, personally. The RSI is bearish, stochastics are bearish, the MACD is bearish. I mean, from here, 24.4 cents, maybe we go a little bit lower, but when I say I doubt we go lower, I just mean I doubt we go lower than this low here. From the current price, the expectation of the next move is a 3x. It could go lower, just giving you more gains, but again, the move, if you're worried about buying here and it goes lower, this is not the move that you should worry about missing. It's this move, right? This is bigger. This is what you should worry about missing. And that's the next move. That's absolutely the next target area. Anyways, that's KTA. Let's talk about Cookie Dow and wrap this video up, okay? Cookie Dow, maybe not on Coinbase. Let's do Bybit. Cookie Dow sitting here at 5.3 cents. We look at the daily time frame, the RSI. I didn't even go over, I actually with KTA, hold on. I want to go back real quick, hold on. With KTA, we didn't even talk about where you're going to go. We just talked about the next move, the 3x move, but ultimately from here, I think KTA, when it sees new all-time highs, its minimum target is a 12x, 13x, potentially as high as like a 30x move. You've got immense potential here. This should be attained somewhere in this $3.14 to $7 range sometime in Q1. Absolutely, it should be. Cookie Dow is the next one. Bybit here. 5.3 cents. Weekly indicators. Reset, reset. Bullish divergence? Do you have? You do. Technically, you have bullish divergence on your MACD as well. Daily time frame. Bullish momentum is building. We've seen this before. That typically implies that you go higher. Stochastics look weird and the RSI looks weird, but that's because you're moving sideways and you're choppy, so of course you're going to be weird. I really do think that we're at a low point. I highly doubt that we go too much lower, if at all. I mean, that very likely is the low on the 21st of November there, but even if we go a little bit lower, same thing as KTA or Zora, it's not going to be by much. This move is not the one that you should be worried about. This move is not the one that you should be worried about. The move that you should be worried about is this move here. It's way bigger. It's more than twice the size. That's the move, and that takes you all the way up. That's the golden ratio. That's at 11.7 to 13.3 cents. That's a very likely outcome from here. You consolidate, and then you continue to build. I mean, inevitably, I think Cookie Dow is going to see something that's all the way up at 33 cents, 37 cents, probably in January, and pushing higher going to new all-time highs either by the end of January or sometime in February. The expectation is that we see extraordinary growth, spectacular growth. Sometime in Q1, I would anticipate, and I do anticipate, that we see Cookie Dow all the way up above $1, $1.85, maybe even above $2 or $3. I mean, that's a 35x from here. Cookie Dow is the most beat up out of all the coins we've talked about so far in this video, but I also think it has the most potential. With that being said, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I wouldn't bet the bank on Cookie. I personally, as far as projects go, I can wrap my head around Zora and KTA more. I can get behind the fundamentals of that more. I have more conviction in those projects than I do with Cookie Dow. But just looking at this opportunity here, I feel like there's more opportunity with Cookie than there is with the other two. So as far as growth goes, this one has a lot of potential. With that being said, right, is KTA the biggest one? Let's just write, is KTA the one that you should put your money into? Is Zora the one that you should put your money into? Is it Cookie? Zora? Is it Cookie Dow? I think if I was to put my money into these three projects, I would probably do like an even 35% in each of these, and then I do the remaining 30% in Cookie. Maybe even 40% in these, and then 20% in Cookie. Not because I think Cookie's going to flop, but because I have more conviction in these, so 40%, and then the 20% here. If Cookie does what I think it can do, it'll outperform even though we have more allocation in here. And you might think in your head, oh, well then why wouldn't I just put everything in here and make the most that I could make? Because again, out of all three of these plays, this is the one that I have the least conviction for. I have a lot of conviction for Cookie. I like Cookie a lot. Whenever I talk to people about investing in crypto, I bring up Cookie Dow often, and I bring up these ones as well. But I just think the level of, let's say, safety here in these projects is higher than it is with this one. I still very much believe that we'll see new all-time highs, and I don't think that we're just going to stop at $1.85 or $5. I believe Cookie Dow can see an $11 price and beyond by the end of this cycle, sometime in Q2, Q3, maybe Q4 of 2026. But I have more conviction in Zora and KTA. Nonetheless, I really like Cookie Dow. I think that we're at a good area to buy. Again, if we go a little bit lower, that's okay. That's fine. We have some weird choppy kind of price action here, but the MACD looks bullish. The stochastics are reset in the RSI. It's neutral, but it's in a bullish posturing as well. I do suspect that this next move for Cookie Dow should take you similar to like what KTA would do with its initial move. I think it'll take you back to the top of this kind of low area here. You'll find resistance right where you found resistance and support before, and resistance before and support before back here. It just seems like it makes sense. And that's also right there at your psychological area of resistance, which is 10 cents. So being here at 5.3 cents, I think that you do have like a 100% pump kind of programmed into your low here. You should move up there. And with the fibs on here, I mean, maybe even higher, maybe we push all the way up to this level at about 14 cents, which pretty solid resistance and support there as well, and support here. It's very, and support there and resistance there, and that was your all-time highs back here for a time. It's actually a more significant level, in my opinion, than this 10-cent level is. Maybe we do just push all the way up to like 14, 15 cents, and in which case, again, that's about, instead of a 2x move, that might be closer to a 3x move from here. But all in all, we're expecting new all-time highs for all of these projects. Immense potential. I don't have anything else that I want to say, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.